Good morning, class. My name is Travis, and today in my video we're going to explore some key aspects of communication management, from understanding its role in projects to navigating challenging situations. So what is communication management? Communication management is a crucial aspect of project management. It ensures that everyone involved is informed, aligned, and working towards the same goal. It's not just about exchanging information. It's about fostering collaboration, building trust, and resolving issues effectively. In project management, communication management involves planning, organizing, executing, and controlling the flow of information from stakeholders throughout the project. During communication management, it's essential to set clear goals, assign tasks clearly, provide status updates, and resolve conflicts. What are some of the variables to consider when communicating with project teams? Variables to consider when communicating are the audience that you have, your channel selection, such as text, email, instant messaging, the timing of when and how often you communicate to avoid information overload or unnecessary interruptions, and cultural considerations. Especially when working with diverse teams, cultural differences can have a great impact on communication styles. It's important to remain respectful and clear with communication. What is the best method to run a team meeting? I try to avoid saying that there's one best method for every team meeting because each team and each group of people is going to be individually different from project to project. You may be in a project that you can't meet in person, or you may be in a project where you have a group of people who can meet every day. And so the best method will be different for both those teams. But in my experience, it's always best to have in-person meetings, either via video or physically in person. Some key things that make meetings more effective are setting a clear agenda or topics to be discussed, preparing in advance to ensure that the necessary information is gathered beforehand, facilitate active participation and encourage everyone to share their thoughts, and then follow up with action items. Clearly define what your next steps are and assign responsible individuals to follow up. Describe what a communication blocker is. Communication blockers are anything that hinders effective flow of communication, such as lack of clarity, information overload, poor timing, fear of speaking up. All of these can block or hinder communication and make things a little more difficult for a project. How would communication blockers lead to non-optimal outcome of a project? Well, communication blockers can result in delays, errors, low morale due to frustration or dissatisfaction, conflict escalations, or misunderstandings. All of these are potential small things that add up to create non-optimal outcomes for a project, especially when left uncorrected. What is the best method to communicate with a project team? Again, I am not sure that I feel safe saying, hey, there's one best catch-all method. However, I do feel that in-person communication is a highly effective method of communication, whether again via a video chat like this or whether actually physically in person. And I digress. A video like this isn't the same as being on video with other people. This is the one where you're posting a video and then other people are commenting. It's better when you can all interactively collaborate. But a combination of approaches have proven to be effective, and they include regular team meetings for important updates, written communication when it comes to things like documenting key information such as project plans, deadlines, and task assignments, one-on-one communication for providing individual feedback, both for positive or negative feedback, and we'll get into that here in a minute, mentoring or addressing specific concerns, and then project management software is an excellent way to communicate when using centralized communication to access project documents, update task lists, and things like that. What is the best way to discuss issues on a project team? When discussing issue, I think collaboration and clarity are key, but again, I don't think there's a one best way to do anything. It's always going to be based on the team you're working with and the project you have and the constraints of that project. However, it is important to be respectful, constructive, clear, and timely when communicating. Listen actively, focus on solutions rather than placing blame. And those will help your discussion be more fruitful. It's also important, especially when discussing issues, to remain respectful to all parties. As a project manager, how do you determine the best method for praise discipline of team members? This is always a tentative topic because people all respond differently. However, when disciplining a team member, providing specific, timely feedback, generally in a private setting, is important to help maintain team cohesion. And it's always important to focus on what the behavior was rather than the person. Remember, when disciplining a team member, that tailoring your approach to be positive, constructive, and aimed at improvement will help enhance its effectiveness. For example, clearly explaining what the issue is, outlining what the expectations are, and then offering support for improvement can show that you're building trust with them, and that it's more about getting to the end state needed rather than anything that has to do with them as a person. As for praise, it's always helpful to highlight specific achievements and contributions to the project or the team as a whole. And I find praising in public can be effective for morale, especially when you're praising the group as a whole. However, each person's different, so tailoring the member to the member is important. The key here is to recognize and reward hard work, because if you fail to recognize or reward hard work, you yourself will not be recognized and rewarded with hard work. Communication management is essential for successful project execution. It involves clear communication of goals, tasks, and status updates. It's a crucial aspect of project management, and it fosters collaboration, minimizes misunderstanding, and keeps stakeholders aligned throughout the project's life cycle. Some of the references I used is Carmen D, Interpersonal Communication Within the Company, Premises of Success. It was in the Euromentor Volume 3, Issue 2. Dean David, the video on project management, creating communication plans. It's one of the videos the professor dropped in. And then Larson's book, of course, Project Management and the Managerial Process. I thank you for your time, and I look forward to discussing this more with you.